Banana peppers don't get used like this enough. Stuffed, baked, and covered in the most simple tomato sauce, they turn into something way better than you would expect. And I went out and got the most perfect banana peppers. In Canada, they're called yellow hots. It might be called something else somewhere else. Maybe you can let me know in the comments down below, but I know these as banana peppers or pepperoncinis. These are already washed. Get my pan ready to go. A little bit of parchment paper. Like a cozy blanket. We're gonna take the tops off. These curved ones are a little bit more tricky, but we do our best to split them down the middle. And we're just gonna take out those seeds there. The one common mistake when making stuffed peppers is people aren't pre-baking their peppers in the oven first. They're just taking their pepper from raw, stuffing it with their meat, and going right in the oven. Well, the problem with that is the meat is going to cook faster than the pepper to get nice and tender. You don't really want a hard, crunchy pepper when you're eating something like this. Just get the seeds out. It's okay if you miss a couple, right? That's where all the spices in the seeds, but also like the pith or whatever it's called, the innards. I do about a pound of pork to like 6 or 8 peppers, depending on the size. I have about 8 here. We'll see how far it gets us with the filling. I am gonna make all of them for the purpose of this video, but also because this is what I'm eating for dinner tonight with my family. So kind of like a double dip, you know? Sometimes you get some that are like way more shallow. Bigger ones are like a lot more deep. And also if you don't like the hot peppers too, like so you can absolutely use bell peppers. All those hot seeds all over my hands, just go ahead and rub your eyes. Just kidding, make sure you wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes, or do it. All right, I'm gonna use that same bowl. I'm just gonna get these in here. A little bit of olive oil here, just to coat it, enough so that seasoning kind of sticks. Maybe this was a terrible idea because this bowl is kind of small. Pivoting, we'll go back to the pan. I'll just give those a light toss. That olive oil will flavor it, but also help it from sticking to the pan, but also, and most importantly, it'll kind of like fry those peppers and give it a nice texture on the final product. And what I like to do is I keep like the flesh side down when I bake these off. You can even broil these too if you want it to be quicker. Broil this for like 5 minutes instead of the 8 minutes in the oven. We're gonna season in layers, a little bit of pepper, just a little bit, you don't have to go crazy, and a little bit of salt. Into the oven it goes, 400 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. While those are cooking in the oven, let's build our sauce. I got that on a medium heat. Always preheat your pan. Tomatoes. So I use like a San Marzano style tomato paste. A little bit of garlic. Or a lot of it. I'll do 3. I have a half onion and some oregano. This is just like the workings of a basic tomato sauce. For the garlic, I'm just gonna crush. Crushing your garlic is better than chopping it up or mincing it because it's more likely to burn quicker when you have it in smaller pieces. But this way it can just still flavor the olive oil. We can get that nice fry on it, and then it's just gonna get stick blended away. And then I treat the onions just the same too. I won't dice it. I'll leave them a little bit thicker so it's easier for me to just get color, and I can do other things in the kitchen too and not having to constantly stir this. So I'll make just like half it, and then I'll just like quarters, kind of like that, right? So that's ready to go. Pan's nice and hot. Gonna go in with a couple glugs of olive oil, or maybe like a tablespoon and a half. Gonna go in with some my garlic and my onion. Gonna go in with some salt right away. Salt's gonna help with the sweating of the onions, right? We're drawing out the moisture. Typically, I'd like to use a high-sided pot for this, but I'm using a shallow one so you guys can see what's going on. But the other thing too is like I'm making it quick, right? So the less surface area that I have to heat up, the faster that this is gonna be. Okay, now it's a good time to put my other spices in, maybe a pinch of pepper, pinch of oregano, like a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of each. Chili peppers, just a kiss. Pepper's already spicy enough, but you know, I can't help myself. Just adds so much depth, so much flavor, just adding like a level of heat, especially to combat a little bit of the acidity in the sauce. And you know, I'm a big advocate for not adding sugar to your sauces, people. There's much better ways to balance out acid. Fat for one. We're stuffing those peppers with pork. There's gonna be a lot of fat in that pork that's gonna combat the acid in the tomatoes in this sauce. We can also add like a little splash of heavy cream just to kind of round it out. We can use the chili peppers, right? That's another way, like a little bit of spice to cut out some of that acidity. Sugar in sauce equals no. See how we did? Maybe like another 2-3 minutes. What you're looking for in those peppers is you want them to be not like super soft, but like that wilty kind of texture. You can see some structure has changed. It's not like super hard like when you first bought it at the grocery store, but it's kind of like a pepper that's just been hanging out in the fridge. Maybe it's like almost on the verge of going bad, like how it gets softer and softer. That's kind of what we want to happen in the oven. This is good now. Our garlic, our onions are nice sweat down, nice golden color, toasted. A little bit of tomato paste. paste. I'm gonna cook off some of that tinny tomato pasty flavor just by frying it a little bit. I'm gonna open my tomatoes. Turn your pan down to a low, add your tomatoes. Make sure you get every last bit. You can add water to this and then add it in to get every last bit if you want. Typically you would do that if you're letting this reduce for a really long time because that water is gonna cook out and evaporate anyways. I'll let that come up to a slight simmer slash boil. Once it does, I'll kill the heat even further. Right now I'm just under a medium. I'll let it cook for a little bit to mellow out the peppers. Look at this. They're nice and soft. They're still, you know, a little bit firm, but not crazy, right? I'm gonna put those off to the side. We want them to be cool. We don't want to stuff them when they're super hot. In the meantime, while those are cooling, let's make our pork stuffing. I got some ground pork here. My normal recipe calls for about a pound of pork. This is definitely a little bit more than a pound of pork. Again, all my recipes will be in the description down below if you're having a hard time following along with all this. I'm gonna use about a half an onion for this. So the real trick and what my nonna always did, she would treat this pepper stuffing basically like a meatball. So this is kind of bonus for you guys because I'm basically showing you how to do a meatball and a stuffed pepper filling. This is like a non-negotiable for me, is blending this onion down. You can use like a blender or whatever, a bullet or whatever you got. You don't want a diced onion in here. You really want it blended down nicely. It's going to help add moisture. Burns the eyes. I'm gonna do some grated garlic in here. So if you got a blender, if you're blending this, you know, half an onion, 2 garlic cloves, blend that down. You're making like a sofrito, like a vegetable sofrito. Gonna flavor the meat, but it's also gonna add some necessary moisture, especially if you're like me and you get lean ground pork. Season this with some pepper, some salt. I'm gonna get a separate bowl, get some milk, or in my case, almond milk. Little Italian breadcrumb. It's about a half a cup Italian breadcrumbs. You can use fresh breadcrumbs, you can use panko, use what you got, people. About a 1/4 cup of milk. I just want to hydrate that using the milk. Again, that's gonna help add moisture to this stuffing. Those breadcrumbs will just soak up that milk and you just want to let those sit. A little bit of finely chopped parsley. It's about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little bit more. Season with how you feel. Italian cooking, it's about emotion, how they felt that day. If my nonna was a little bit more pissed off than usual, she'd probably put a little bit more chili flakes in this to let my nonna know that, you know, heat's coming. Our breadcrumbs have hydrated nicely. Look at that, right? Like, they're not like milky and whatever anymore. It's kind of like a paste that goes right into. And 1 egg. Start with 1 egg. Egg's gonna help bind everything together. You gotta get in there with your hands. Don't be shy. You wanna incorporate this good. We got it to where we want it. What I'm gonna do is just take these peppers. You don't have to go crazy. You can go as much or as little as you like, but this is kind of how my grandma would do it. She would kind of just like follow that curve for the pepper, kind of build it up and then just kind of squish it down. The pepper is just like a bed where the pork just takes a nap in. If you're finding that the stuffing's sticking to your hands, just wet your hands every so often. That'll help. Or you can just do what I'm doing and just power through it. All right, all my peppers, they're all stuffed, ready to go in the oven. So I'm gonna bake them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 205 degrees Celsius for about 20 to 25 minutes. See you in a bit. We got this down. It's kind of reduced down nicely. So I'm just gonna get my immersion blender or stick blender and blend her down. Just hot liquid flying everywhere. Please don't do this at home. Should I just do it and just make a mess? Or should I transfer it over to a bowl, blend it in the bowl, transfer it back? The things I do for you people. Just do it the safe way. That's better. All right, we're blended. Typically when I do my tomato sauces, I like a smoother sauce, especially with something like this that already has a lot of textures going on. Back in the pan, make sure to turn down your pan on your sauce. We want that simmering low. Let's do something, yeah? A little topping. Just something simple, something easy, something my nonna used to do all the time. Preheat our pan. Our sauce is cooking down nicely. We got about 3.5 tablespoons of butter. That's gonna go in. I'm gonna get this butter foaming. You know what? I'll panko for this. You know, some breadcrumbs. A little butter, a little breadcrumb. Perfect. Coated in the butter. We're just gonna toast these off. Little toasted breadcrumbs. It'll be absolutely fire in here. A little Parmesan. I didn't put any Parmesan in the actual mix. You could also do that too if you're not doing like a topping like this, but this is a good move. And these will toast pretty quickly. Maybe like, you know, 4 to 5 minutes in this pan. I'm gonna check these. I'll bring them out to show you. Almost there, pretty close. What I'm gonna do for the last like maybe 5 minutes or so, I'm gonna broil them just for maybe another 5 minutes to kind of get that like crust on that pork. Now this is browning up nicely. I'm gonna kill the heat on both these. Look at this, come on. Nice golden brown on these, little brownie bits. It's perfect, exactly what we want. Just gonna flavor these a little bit. We did put some parm in there, so I'm not gonna put too much salt because the parm is a little bit salty. These decent amount of pepper, good pinch. And you don't have to use butter for this either. You can use oil, olive oil would be good in this. It's just a nice topper. These are ready, fantastic looking. Just reminds me of my nonna's house, honestly. Just brings me back to being a kid, putting back like 6 of these things. Let's plate this up. I'll do it exactly how my nonna would do it. She'd put a little bit of base tomato sauce, 2 of these. All right, like a nice one like that. A little bit of that breadcrumb topping on top, just to kind of finish it off. Maybe some fresh cracked pep. And there you have it. The Italian stuffed peppers, how my nonna would do it. Maybe because it's nostalgic to me and this just brings me back to childhood memories, but like making this and trying it here with you today is fantastic. And I really, really hope you make this one because it is some of the best stuffed peppers ever. And what we're having for this for dinner tonight, and I know my family's gonna love it, so I hope you guys love it too. Don't got a fryer? Check out these crispy oven baked chicken wings. No fryer needed. Like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know if you made this dish. I'd love to hear about it. See you in the next one. Goodbye for now.